The relocation of what Absa Bank calls illegal squatters seems to have caused more problems than solutions. There are no services, the water table is being threatened, and Mogale City seems to be floundering, ignoring environmental legislation. More from Health E! News.
Sanitation is critical in high-density informal settlements to prevent disease and to ensure that groundwater doesn't become polluted, especially if it's near a wetland, like the so-called Absa squatter camp. But the Mogale City Council hasn't made provisions for sewage, water or refuse.
There's nothing actually. You cannot leave the place where there's no water. How are you going to use toilet?
Everyone will just have to make a plan for himself. They'll just have to go to the bush. That's what was happening.
There is one illegal connection for water and a chemical toilet for every 100 people.
People will eventually get sick. That's what I think. Because now it's not healthy. It's not healthy at all. You feel like you're nothing because now people can do whatever they want with you. You don't have rights, you don't have anything. They can do whatever they want with you.
We asked Absa if they'd considered any of this when buying the land. They said they'd relied on the Mogale City municipality.
They said it is contiguous to the area just up the hill where they're going to erect RDP housing anyway. So when the municipality says to us we're going to build RDP housing there anyway, what should we do? Now, they could have pointed us elsewhere. We would have gone there.
On the original eviction order Absa was granted, there were only 250 names. But now about 1,200 people live here and more arrive every day. We took one of South Africa's leading water experts, Professor Anthony Turton, to the site to get his take on the possible impacts.
So anything that impacts on a wetland, the edge of a wetland, the flow of something to a wetland, digging something out of a wetland, you have to get permission from Department of Environmental Affairs. And that is quite a complex process.
The Department of Water and Sanitation told us no permission was sought. That's because Mogale City ignored procedure.
This was an emergency. That's where in an emergency, it is always not possible to deal with all these issues.
And in nature, you would have a high population density that wouldn't normally be sustained by this ecosystem. That high population density, all using the veld as their toilet, that all ends up in a very short period of time in the shallow aquifer that feeds the wetland.
Despite stating in court papers that the land was suitable for human settlement, Councillor Molefe admits that no EIA was done to look at the impact. But he has a solution.
What we have suggested, that side of wetland, it has to be fenced off. Because that one, it can't be utilized for anything. I think that's what we have suggested. It's going to be fenced off the wetland side.
Who's going to do that?
The municipality is going to do that.
The municipality can't even cope with waste management. This pump station hasn't worked properly in years, and rubbish collection is non-existent.
That area has thousands of people living on it who are drinking water which may well be compromised.
It's now called Absa squatter camp. It's their squatter camp. I think they must just come and have a look one day. Maybe they'll feel proud about it.
We would prefer not to have an informal settlement named after us, but I certainly can understand why people would name it that way. It doesn't sit well at all.
Residents are considering suing for damages.
We considered legal intervention last year when it was happening, but unfortunately the eviction had already taken place and their homes had already been demolished. So we couldn't relocate them back to where they were. So what we have to consider there is a damages claim. And that is something we're considering for my clients, because they did have strong ties to the land, as strong as any farmer has, and those weren't taken into account.
We have a fundamental ethical and moral question to answer in this country, which is, do corporates have an obligation where indigent people have to move because of a court order to simply build better structures for them?
That's all from us this week. Please do give us your feedback. Our Twitter handle is @checkpoint_ENCA and our email address checkpoint@enca.com. Thanks for watching. I'm Ngepile Mabuse. You can